Hi guys, welcome to my goat shed life. Please excuse the condition my condition is in. My house is a mess. Well, it's not a house, it's a goat shed, or it used to be. Now it's my house. Anyway, today I thought that I would make some jambalaya a la goat shed. Yes, enjoy. Step one, we got this big pot, this Dutch oven type pot here that we're gonna put everything in. Jambalaya is a one-pot meal. You cook the rice and the meat and everything all together. I've got a bell pepper from the garden, and I have a red pepper. It's actually a bell pepper that turned red, which they will do if you leave them out there long enough. Got a bunch of bell peppers out there, but I'm not going to beat myself up over that. I've got 1/2 of an onion. I could probably borrow some from Martha if I needed some more, and she sent me over with 3 celery sticks. I probably won't use all 3 of them. And I usually score the celery a little bit, and then that way I can get some of those strings off of it, because nobody likes stringy celery. Celery's got a pretty strong taste, so I don't usually use just a whole lot of it relative to the other things that I'll be using. This is not my normal chef's knife. I have one that's a little bit bigger than this. This one does just fine. You use that rocking action, and the longer you do it, you can even go so far as to mince things in this fashion. My kingdom for a clear flat surface. I'm going to go ahead and put that butter in. And yeah, there we go. Get a fire going underneath that. That rolling. And the second thing I'm going to do is the bell pepper. So I've got the green bell pepper. Bell pepper is really sweet. Everything tastes better when it's homegrown. I have never found that not to be true. Pretty happy with that. I love a chef's knife. Okay, so there's my red pepper. Now put that little bit of butter in there. And you really got to be careful with butter because you can burn it. Also going to add just a tad of olive oil. My sausage and my ham that I'm going to use are going to have some grease in them as well. Again, I got about 1/2 an onion. Probably I would usually use a whole one, but I don't have a whole one today. So, using 1/2. If you cut your onion like this, then go like this, then when you cut this way, you gotta watch your fingers. It'll be chopped up pretty good. Turn my fire down way low. Just chop up just a little bit. That rocking action does the trick. I'm telling you now. It also makes things fly around. So I just threw onion on the floor. And the dogs will be like, what the heck? Is that all you can give us? It's just some onion? So now I'm going to stir this around. Isn't that pretty? Smells good too. To this, I'm going to add some minced garlic. out of a jar and let all that stir around in there and be wonderful. The next thing that we have is this deer sausage that someone gave us. Now, we're not going to be able to use all of this. And it's still kind of frozen. And I don't even know if you're supposed to take it out of the casing or not. I'm just having trouble getting it out of the package. We can do it. There we go. Out of the package. I'm not using all that. I am going to assume this casing is edible on this sausage. So I'm going to take about that much of it. Smells good. And chop it into bits. Now this is not cooked like some sausages that you get, like that Eckrich Farm or whatever it is that you buy in the grocery store. This is not cooked. This was just ground in a sausage and then put into these long skins, which we're going to assume are edible. I guess we'll find out, won't we? I'm going to take a little bit more of it. This is going to add quite a bit of grease to the jambalaya. And since the sausage really has to cook, it's a good thing to put it in there with my veggies so that everybody can cook down. Maybe just a little bit more. Okay. Now, I'm going to set this aside somewhere, we hope. The next thing, I'm going to rinse this off and I'm going to get a different knife. I bought some ham, and while I may use all of it, I may not, and I certainly don't want to run the risk of cross-contamination. A 1 pound package of ham. I put at least a pound of sausage in here. I'm going to kick the fire up a notch. Alright. Alright, y'all didn't see that, right? I think I'm going to start with about half of it. I'm going to go ahead and get a different knife because I didn't wash the other one yet. And I'm just going to cube the ham. The slices are pretty thin, but that's okay. I'm going to use quite a bit of it. So that ham flavor will certainly still be in there. Fire up just a little bit more. Get everything sizzling around in there. I could probably do with that much ham. I'm going to go ahead and use the other half of the pack, because by the time the rice and everything cooks in there, it'll shrink down quite a bit. So that's what we're going to do. So right now, this is what we're looking like. Those casings on those sausages will probably come out. But it's very, very pretty. We could take our can of Rotel tomatoes and pour the liquid out of them, just to get an idea of about how much liquid. Because typically you use twice the amount of liquid that you do for rice. This is right at a 1/4 cup of liquid. So I'm going to go ahead and add that liquid down in there. and it will reduce, and everything will just keep cooking. The pot's pretty full. I used to work at a pizza place when I lived in Mississippi. I think it was in my 30s. It was after my kids were born. The world's oldest pizza delivery woman. At least that's how it felt at the time. I had a college degree, and I was delivering pizza and making jambalaya and all of that good stuff. So, at any rate, it's alright. It's all good. You do what you gotta do, right? To make life work. That's what we do. I've been letting this cook now for a little bit, about 5 minutes. And the sausage is getting done, and you can see the veggies are starting to look tender and more translucent. And so, and the ham said on the box clearly water added. So I'm estimating there's probably, could easily be a cup, 3/4 of a cup to a cup of water down in there. This is where jambalaya gets a little tricky. If we had some chicken, if we wanted to, we could add that. But I don't have any chicken to go in there today. It's going to be sausage and ham. I'm going to use 1.5 cups of rice. So there's one. 1.5 cups of rice would typically take, I don't have quite a half. It's about a half. 1.5 cups of rice would typically take 3 cups of water. I'm going to start this out with 2 cups of water and see how we do. I'm going to stir this whole thing around, because the rice needs to be down in the water in order for it to cook. I may add another 1/4 to a half a cup of water. If you put too much water in, you end up with rice that's really sticky and nasty. I'm also going to add these Rotel tomatoes, the original. Sometimes I use the mild. If you don't put enough water in it, you end up with what I always call crunchy rice, and nobody likes crunchy rice. At least I don't. So we'll be back to see what it looks like. I decided to go ahead. Now, instead of water, you can use all chicken broth, but I decided just to go ahead, and as I said, we would have needed about 3 cups of water for that much rice. And I'm going to I added 2 cups of water because of the water that was in the pan. I'm going to add about 1/2 cup of chicken broth. I'm going to taste of the broth. It's pretty tasty. It's got a good taste to it. It's already pretty salty, but I am going to go ahead and add that much Tony Chachere's. And Tony Chachere's a little spicy. Creole seasoning. Hopefully I won't spice Martha out of the game. She doesn't do spicy at all. It's just going to make it more salty. Hopefully it won't be too salty, but anyway, we'll let you know. I let that cook for, I don't know, 3 or 4 minutes while I put away that big thing of sausage and put the lid on it, and I've turned it down to low. And we're going to let it cook for a little while and hopefully cook that rice just right. There it is. It's gonna burn me. Tastes like jambalaya to me.